Hi, laying in here. I hope you are doing well. Please forgive the lighting. I've done everything I can, and I still think my lighting looks really bad for these videos where I'm just hanging out and talking to you guys. But what are you gonna do? For this video, it's going to be a little bit longer form than the vlogmases I've been putting out, and I really just want to talk about some things that I observe happening in the YouTube, PetTube, FishFam community, that I just want to share my opinion on as a very small content creator. Very, very, very small. I don't even have 200 subs yet, which, you know, if you wanted to sub, that would be cool. But, you know, this is a pure passion project for me at the moment. And so I have some just observations on it from that perspective. And I'm going to share them with you all now. I hope that you enjoy this video. I've tried to set myself up where you can see a few of my fish in the background, and I'm sure Mephistopheles and the dogs will probably pop in and make an appearance, but this is going to be a video of mostly me talking to you guys. So if that's not your thing, no problem. I understand. I am catching up on Vlogmas and am posting short, cute, and informative animal videos and little life vlogs all the time. So come back for that. And if you're interested in my opinions on our little YouTube animal communities here and some of the things that come up within them, hang around and let's talk. Because I am small, but I have many, many, many big opinions and many, 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 many feelings. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I had to change into a much more boring outfit. While I was trying to film, my dogs just started going crazy, and I could tell it was because it's snowing here, and so they haven't really been out as much today, and they just had to get a walk and had to go out, and I got what I was wearing all covered in snow and stuff and had to clean up a little, and now I'm just going to talk to you for the rest of this video in my pajamas. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, great gods of FishTube and PetTube. So, all joking aside, the first thing I really want to talk to you guys about is PetTube drama, because anybody who's here watching my video has been on YouTube long enough to have heard all about any drama going on in PetTube, whether it's with Brian Balzic, I hope I said his name right, or Taylor Nicole Dean, or Paul Cruffalo, or, oh my goodness, there's the guy that, like, is a little much for even me, Catch 'em all fishing. Oh man, he just does not treat his animals well. He's passionate and stuff. Don't come for me if you're a fan, but he does not treat his fish well. But, so that's not even the point. You know, the point is, I want to talk about why PetTube drama can be so fierce and so personal, and why in situations where it would seem like, okay, well, one person's obviously right, why not just make adjustments and move on? That can be really hard for people sometimes. And I think the first reason why that is so difficult for the PetTube community is, which by the way, I know FishTube and PetTube often get separated. I consider them kind of like branches of the same thing. So FishTube, PetTube, I may refer to them, I may get the way I refer to them mixed up. I'm sorry. Back to my point, which is that PetTube drama, I think, gets really, really controversial because we have such deep personal feelings about our animals, and when we are doing something that works for our animals and we know it works for our animals and we see a similar animal to ours that we love so much in bad conditions, it's really easy to just want to go off on the person keeping the animal in those bad conditions. And I get that in some situations. I actually do think that it's appropriate to intervene and to try to give some advice, try to get some help for an animal that's being not taken care of, because animals can't advocate for themselves. They don't speak the same language as us, literally. So that's one of the reasons why I think that the trauma gets so bad. It's just because our pets are so personal to us. I know for me, a lot of times I feel like my animals are family, or even just like an extension of my myself and my home. I really, really love them. And if someone were to come at me telling me like, your cat's fat, you must neglect and abuse him, I would have my feelings really hurt. I would definitely go into defense mode, talking about how much I've worked trying to get him to lose weight and how he has lost weight and how I do talk to my vet about it and blah, 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 blah. I would go into defense mode instead of maybe hearing what the person had to say if they just approached me at it like, you're abusing your cat or something. I can see that. So I think that's one of the reasons why it's so bad, is because it's so personal to us, and because our network is worldwide, but the standards of pet care are very different, not just from country to country, but from culture to culture, even within countries. Animals kept on a farm are often not kept the same way as an animal kept in a suburban home, you know, like people have barn cats and they take care of those cats very differently than people who take care of house cats that they're a pet that stays inside, like I have, or feral cats. I have in my old neighborhood that was really, really bad, there were a lot of feral cats, and so I participated in what is known as TNR, which is trap, neuter, and release. So I would work with that population of cats and set up things for them outside and stuff. So yeah, just from culture to culture, how an animal is what is considered minimal standards and best is different. And that doesn't mean that, like, oh, even though it's kind of been scientifically proven that animals do way better in this setup, but my culture says that this bowl is fine, that doesn't mean you should just do that. Oh, Mr. Kitty's moving my tablet. Thanks, Mr. Kitty. He just has to shove right up against it. He's trying to get on the keyboard because he's a cat, and that's what they do. No, Mr. Sorry. Mr. Kitty was starting to take away my computer. But yeah, so you have people with different backgrounds. You have people who feel very, very passionate about something. And then you also do have just an element of, like I was trying to say that I don't think I articulate it well, how the advice is given. Because the best advice in the whole world, you can be 110% right, but if you come at somebody like claws out, that's going to trigger a defense mechanism, especially when it comes to pets, which is something that people find very personal and have very strong feelings about, be it their own or others. I know I am an animal rights person. I'm a vegan-leaning vegetarian, which you don't have to be. No judgments, anything. Don't come for me. But I believe in fair treatment of animals. I don't use any products with cruelty in them if I can avoid it. I'm all for animal rights, but you also have to be respectful in the way you talk to people, because just because somebody is providing their animal less than standard care doesn't mean that they don't love that animal. And I'm going to talk about this later, but there is a way to give advice that can be received better. And to be honest, the other reason, like the final reason why I think PetTube drama gets so intense is because, I mean, I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, oh, Mr. Kitty, I hate to admit it, but drama's fun. It is. I watch some drama channels. It's not my main thing. Mostly I watch a bunch of other people's pets while I'm hanging out with my pets. But drama is kind of fun. It is kind of entertaining. I really enjoyed following the story of Daddy 05 going down. If you guys remember that, it was a terrible child abuse channel that got taken down. And I mean, I don't mean I enjoyed seeing the child abuse or anything, but I enjoyed seeing that taken down. And I get it, like drama is addictive. So I think that is kind of why the PetTube drama gets so bad. Yeah. And my only advice to it is to work on the way we give advice, as I'm about to talk about, and also just to try to be kind to each other. Just try to consider us all part of the same team that loves our animals, and participate in drama minimally and do our best. Alright, I'm going to move on to my next question that I wanted to talk. My next question. You guys didn't ask me questions. I just decided I'm a tiny channel. Nothing matters. I'm going to talk anyway. But moving on to the next point I wanted to talk about is how to give good advice. How to give advice in a way that will be received and taken to heart and thought about, versus advice that will just be dismissed and considered hating and pushed off. All that talk about drama aside, I do think there's a place to give constructive criticism to people who are up on PetTube, especially, and FishTube, and part of the FishFam, especially if they have a large platform. I think it is important for them to be showing great standards of care. And so if you're talking to somebody really with any size platform, and you're trying to give them advice on the care of their animal, you see that they're doing something that is potentially wrong for their animal, and you want to comment, I think that's okay. I don't want to discourage people from doing it. I don't even want to discourage people from making reaction videos to it if they feel passionate about it. I love watching Mike Dane. He's a reaction channel to mostly animal matters, and he is really entertaining and brings up some great points sometimes, and it's great. I love that there's a place for that. But in terms of really getting advice across in a way that, like, the person is actually going to hear you and accept what you're saying and possibly change their animal's conditions, here's what I think the best way to do it is. And that is basically in 3 steps. First, you want to sandwich your criticism with a mix of compliments on what they are doing right and assumptions that they might already know. Because nobody wants to be talked to like they're stupid. I have a friend who is keeping some goldfish in a home that he knows is too small for them, and he has a plan to upgrade. And so, like, a good way to think about it is think about it as if that person already knows that they need something, you know, because he already knows, and he's already got a plan for it. So he doesn't need to hear or hate on it because he already knows and he's already got a plan for it. And also, you want to compliment them on the things that they are doing right, even if it's just something as simple as, wow, that is a beautiful fish. Oh, man, I can tell you love your cat. Oh, boy, you must love your guinea pig so much. I mean, that you don't have to be telling them lies. It's just, you know, bring up something positive first and mention that you understand that they might already know. And these are ways of kind of politely humbling ourselves so that we don't sound like know-it-alls and we don't sound like we're telling them that they're a terrible person. I mean, except for I might sometimes tell Catch 'em All Fishing that he's a bad person. Anyway, so, but yeah, basically, you want to present things like, hey, I see you have 3 long-bodied goldfish in a 20-gallon tank. I know that you know eventually they're going to get to be up to 12 to 18 inches long. So when you need to upgrade, here are my pointers for what you can upgrade them to at the cheapest. See how that sounds different than saying, hey, you asshole, the minimum standards for long-bodied goldfish is 20 gallons per first fish and 10 to 15 per every additional fish, or whatever the official standards are now. I'll need to look that up. But yeah, do you hear how those sound different? It really makes a big difference. And I think advice is received a lot better that way. And the other thing is that if it's possible, offer to help. If it's possible, say, hey, there's this great channel online, or hey, this is my Instagram, DM me, I'm always available for questions if you have any. Keep up your passion, you're doing great, you know. Don't just come at people like they're intentionally abusing their pets, because 98% of the time they are not. 98% of the time, I don't think people, especially people who have chosen to take the time to make videos about their animals, are choosing actively to hurt their pets. So, yeah, that's my advice on giving advice. And I did have a little bit more to talk about, which is my very, 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 very least favorite trend on YouTube animal-related content, which is glorifying the bare minimum or showing off how little you can get away with when it comes to any animal's care, and I'm going to talk about that more in just a second. I need to get a drink of water. I'm sorry. So something we do see a lot in our community is people glorifying the minimum care. And some of that doesn't come from a bad place. Some of it comes from people are themselves breeders and the animals are in temporary situations, and so they're just showing that off. And some people, they're just there temporarily and they're planning to upgrade. But there are these kind of like, how cheap can I make my leopard geckos video, and like making the world's smallest fish tank and actually putting a fish in it. We don't need to do that. Just because an animal can survive in bad conditions doesn't mean that they can live long-term lives in bad conditions. And trying to show off how easy an animal is to take care of just makes it attractive to the wrong kinds of people, because any animal, whether they are a dog, a cat, a bearded dragon, a hamster, a goldfish, a tetra, a hermit crab, a leopard cat, I'm just going on and on about animals now, but any animal has particular care needs, and part of the joy in having them is making their lives wonderful. And you're missing out on that joy. You're giving a negative life to an animal and encouraging other people to do that too. So I really don't like the trends of world's tiniest goldfish, let's put a real fish in it, how long can I go without changing my water, how high can my nitrates get before it's too bad. I don't know why we need to be figuring those things out with our live animals when you can kind of figure that stuff out with common sense and a little bit of Google. So please just join me in glorifying wonderful pet care without judging people who don't do things exactly our same way. And as always, love your pets and they will love you back. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please like and subscribe. I'm hoping to get to 200 by my birthday, which I know is really silly because I am such a small YouTuber. How many followers I have doesn't even matter, but it's so much fun for me. I really love doing this. I love my pets. I love the community that I have here on YouTube, Mr. Kitty. And yeah, if you enjoy information about animals, life vlogs, vlogs about pets, silly jokes, I'm gonna start doing scary animal story times, all that type of stuff, please like and subscribe. And I know I already said it once, but I have to say it again because it should be the last thing I say in every vlog. Love your pets and they will love you back.